Hey friends, welcome back to the cabin, and today
we're just talking.
Just talking.
We're answering questions and asking a few questions.
That's right.
Well, I got a question. First off,
What's that?
how come I sit over here and look like a tramp and you look so pretty over there?
Ain't he sweet? We've both been outside in the heat today working, right?
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I just put makeup on right before we got ready to film because
I didn't.
I have been sweating and I can't wear it when I'm outside sweating. So
what you been up to today?
Well, actually, the garden is coming in like crazy. And actually been canning this last week a little bit and dehydrating and fermenting. So I've got a lot of stuff going on with food preservation, and something's kind of different with you in the last few weeks. What's going on with you?
Well, I've been gone.
You've been gone. I've had it all.
I've been gone.
It's all been on me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he got a call to go to work, and that was actually in Arkansas.
Yeah, back to Arkansas. Been back to Arkansas.
Yeah, been back to Arkansas. So Jerry is supposed to be retired, but I think it's really considered semi-retired because the phone rings every now and then. So
Yeah, well, I mean,
yeah,
it is what it is.
yeah, it's a blessing, really.
Yeah.
It really is. So,
Well, I'm just glad I'm still able to do it.
exactly, physically able to go do those kind of things.
But when I come home, there's all kind of stuff, all kind of food laying around in there, all out of the garden.
Yeah, the table was full. The Hoosier cabinet's full. I mean, it's just overflowing. The back porch has got stuff. My Roma tomatoes, they are just absolutely shining. They are just showing out. So
I come in there today, I think this morning, and I got me 3 red ripe tomatoes.
yeah, now that was
and
your
some
Marion's.
crackers
Yeah, that was breakfast.
and a glass of tea.
Yeah,
Sure did.
that was
And
breakfast
salt and
because I didn't cook breakfast because I'm on I don't want to call it a diet because I'm not trying to lose weight. I'm actually trying to better my health. So I'm actually doing intermittent fasting, and I love it. It's just, I can really tell a difference with my clarity, my mental clarity, and I have lost a little weight in some places I needed to, but I'm also working out too, so I'm trying to build some muscle, and that's working out too. So
and I'm trying to build fat.
he's catching the slack.
Yeah, I fast for about 10 minutes at a time.
10 minutes at the time. Well, mine's 8 hours on and 16 hours of fast. So I've got an 8-hour window that I eat, 16 hours that I don't. So I'm still adjusting to it, but all in all, I'm really, really happy with it. So.
Yeah, I usually don't eat while I sleep. So about the garden, how's the garden doing? Well, let's say there's a few things I need to clear up. By the way, that is something I wanted to do on this video. I wanted to talk about some things that we've said before.
We had a wonderful comment from someone commented on our alternative plantain dehydrating and brought up a wonderful point.
Yeah,
they sure did.
It was one of the subscribers said something about ask us when we used the car
about
to
the
dehydrate.
the UV rays
UV
and the
rays,
damage.
We had done some research on that to make sure that there was nothing saying that would harm the plantain. Now, like you said,
your culinary herbs, your delicate herbs, you don't want to put them in the sunlight like that because the UV rays can break them down. But the plantain, and we experimented to see because they brought up a great point. But your culinary herbs or any of your other delicate herbs, you don't want to put them in the direct sunlight like that and the high heat. About 95 or 100 degrees on those herbs is about as high as you want to get.
When we got that comment to start with, I got to thinking about it and I thought, well, the main thing about how hot are you supposed to get it to dehydrate?
Well, culinary herbs, delicate herbs, 95 to 105 degrees.
Well, the car gets a whole lot hotter than that. So, we could take it out the window, put it down and even cover it up, and it'd still do the same thing.
Yeah.
Take a little longer, but it'd still do the same thing.
As a matter of fact, we talked about that using brown paper.
After reading that comment, we done it.
Because it really gives us but now I will say plantain is tough. It is tough.
We took some, Jackie got a spider bite on her foot.
On my toe.
And she was soaking her foot.
And plantain tea.
And plantain tea. Right. Put some plantain in there.
Yeah.
And that was some of the plantain that we had dehydrated.
And we was trying to see if it would work to help my toe. And it did.
It still done the job.
Yeah, it
still
did.
done the job. Sure did.
So,
but that is a pretty good idea.
That was a great comment.
We might come up with a different way on that. Of course, we're not going to have any plantain for a little while because we just went out and readjusted on it.
Well, and what happened was we have had the last couple of weeks, Jerry went off to work and the gardens, it's feast or famine, especially on a homestead, and you can only do what you can do. And the garden was coming in, the plantain was prolific, everything was going crazy, but the plantain, I kind of had to put it off to the side because other things were coming in, but the plantain got up, it was so healthy and so strong, and it got up real thick, so we started having problems in this heat and humidity and rain with root rot. It's a fungus.
Cody come up with an idea on that, and what we done when we went out there and planted that thing, we got it all ready, and we just went out there and scattered the seeds, and you seen what we had in the video.
Goodness.
What it looked like.
Yeah.
But Cody asked this morning, he said, why don't you plant it in rows? And I thought, well, that's kind of not how we done that, but I got thinking about it, that might be a good idea.
Yeah, because then it can get air.
It can get air, and plus we can go down through there with, there was no way to really thin all that. You just pull stuff out.
Well, it was an experiment.
Pattern to it.
Yeah.
But if we planted it in like 3 little rows in that thing, 3 or 4 rows, we would have room to go in there and just go down each row and take about half of it out.
Yeah, and we could manage it better.
Right, and have several rows of it, and then that would get air into the bottom of it, and it'd be good. But now what we done, we went out there and cut it all off, got what we could out of it, put the rest in the compost pile, and turned it under,
it will
it'll come right back.
It will come back. Yeah, it's not good. That's not going to stop it.
Yeah.
Is it?
And I went over there was an ant bed over there, and I put DE on it, and then it rained.
Well, I had put peroxide out. One thing that you can do, right, and if you notice, I don't know if I've showed that. I'm trying to get around to everything, but I don't think I've showed how we prune our tomatoes up. And when you live in the deep south, with the heat and the extreme humidity, it is just a recipe for funguses. Blight, root rot, there's all your powdery mildews, your downy mildews, all of those are funguses, and it's just ripe for that. So what we do with our tomatoes, even when they're young, as we start pruning them up, where airflow can get under there, well, we don't have a problem with it over there, but over there where you don't prune up because they're compact plants, air can't get to it. I had that happen last year in my comfrey over there, and what I did, now worms, if you can keep a healthy worm population, they will keep the fungus at bay because they keep the pH right. But if it gets away from you or you have a problem with root rot, you can take a couple of tablespoons of hydrogen peroxide, maybe about 3 tablespoons in a watering can, and saturate the ground, and it will change the pH and the fungus will die off. And I did that last year with my comfrey, and it all come back very strong. So we did that today in the plantain bed.
And if we replant it later next year, we'll do like Cody was talking about. We'll
put it in rows where it can get some air.
Yeah, and where we can have it, because there'll still be plenty of it out there.
Oh my goodness, yeah. So we're learning, because this was the first year that we were actually successful in growing plantain. Last year we tried and nothing came up. This year, and I did a video on that, by the way.
And also, while I was gone, I had your dehydrator up in Arkansas.
My outdoor dehydrator. My little one is full of stuff. That's another thing, the basil. Oh my word, the basil is like this tall. It's probably 4 foot tall, and I've been trying to pinch it off and put it in the dehydrator. And one thing I did today was pinch off the flowers because I don't want it flowering yet. But it has just gone crazy. I mean, there's so many blessings.
Also, something else. Here a while back, we done a video and we was talking about what all we was doing here and all, and what we had to do, and we got behind, and the weeds had got a hold to our peas out there, and was gonna go out there and try to hoe them out and clean all the weeds out of them and everything. Yeah, we hoed them out. We put that disc on.
Put the disc on them. Well, they
and we
quit
redone
growing.
them. Yeah.
We had such a cool spring till they they grew to a point and then they stopped.
They stopped.
And then the grass was taken over and they were not growing, so we
went out there and disced them up, disced them under, and replanted. And
oh my, they're doing great. They're doing great. Well, peas are a hot weather crop, and we have such a long hot growing season here.
Well, we was talking on that video about, I believe we can save them. Well, we could have, but not that much work. So we just went out there and redone them. Another thing we had mentioned was, this is fun. We had eight buckets with bell peppers in them, and we talked about how last year they had done great in buckets. We done 8 this year, and they done absolutely nothing. And we said, well, it was that soil that we bought. It wasn't no good. So we went and bought some good soil, put 8 more in, 8 more buckets.
Because we didn't have any. Well, we didn't have it. We had used all of our compost at that point, so we couldn't.
We bought some good soil, put it in 8 more buckets, and planted 8 more.
And when we planted those, then the other ones
took off.
They took off.
They're doing great.
And the other ones, the new ones are not doing anything. But I will say this, the ones that we had, the first ones that we started with, I was my worm casting tea. I was dousing them with the worm casting tea, and I think what it did was it was just feeding them and fixing that microbiome.
We blame that on the soil that we bought. There was an awful lot of wood in there, a lot of wood chips in it, and we'd done a thing out here talking about how great it was, and we thought it was fine. We bought cheap stuff, and we used that, and we bought.
It was composted cow manure and forest products.
Right.
But no, it was forest products and composted cow manure.
Right.
They should have put
as high as lumber is. I thought about buying a couple of bags of that and building a deck. You know,
because there was a lot of wood in that. So.
But those bell peppers wound up outdoing the good ones.
Yeah, so we are getting some beautiful bell peppers off of the first ones that we thought we were going to lose. Yeah. And we hadn't give up on the other ones yet, but I don't know how much time I can invest in it. So
we got some good dirt. We'll throw that in the compost pile.
Yeah.
And we was out of compost. Now we're about to max out on it.
Wow.
We got a good bit of it. We had a pile of it back here behind the barn, and what that was horse manure and cow manure that had hay in it. So we didn't put that in our compost pile. We kept piling it up out there, and it got about a year old, and that is beautiful. That
is some beautiful stuff. We just kind of forgot about it. We piled it up to a certain size, and then we'd start a new one. And
in my mind, I was thinking it was more hay than anything else. The hay's gone.
The hay's gone. It has completely broke down. And as a matter of fact, last time, not this time, but the last time you turned it, when you turned it, you could see the steam coming off of it. It was some hot compost. So it really.
It had sat out there for about a year. So
yeah.
It was good.
And it destroyed that hay, and I'm not as worried about the hay grass seed in there now because of the heat that it generated. That good barnyard compost. But now I still will steer away from horse manure, horse compost, unless it's been hot composted like that, which that's what we've done.
The only horse on the place now is Cody's horse, and Cody's horse is gone.
He's at a trainer's. Yeah, he's gone to a trainer's, and he's a good little horse, but he needed some refreshing, and he needed some little more advanced schooling. So Cody sent him off to a real good trainer, and he won't be back for a few more weeks. So,
what else?
So I guess let's go back to the Romas.
Right.
Okay, so I've tried to grow Romas in the past and didn't have a lot of luck with them, but we didn't have the raised beds then. Right. And so we really wanted to concentrate on our slicing tomatoes and stuff like that. So this year I really wanted to grow Roma or a paste tomato, Amish paste or a Roma, something in that category. So I planted the Romas because I wanted to use them to do my canned stewed tomatoes, because we eat a lot of stewed tomatoes. So last year I canned stewed tomatoes with our slicing tomatoes, and there's a lot more water in those, and you have to cook them down longer, or you just put up with the thinner juice in it, which was, I had to find a happy medium on that. The Romas, huge difference, huge difference. I cut them up, put them in the pot, and if I make another batch, I really need to film it, because they turned out wonderful. You know, do a step-by-step canning on them, because they turned out wonderful, and it just made a beautiful, bright, well, deep red, thicker stewed tomato in the jar. And of course, you have to pressure can those, because stewed tomatoes have other vegetables. They've got your bell peppers, your onion, your celery, and a few seasonings and stuff. So, but if you're interested in that, y'all drop a comment and let me know if you'd like for me to do a video on that. So, doing stewed tomatoes. But my next batch is going to be the Great Southern favorite, chili sauce, which is doesn't have anything to do with chili. So,
that's pretty good stuff.
That's some good stuff. It's just another way to preserve your tomatoes. That's right. You eat it with peas and stuff.
The corn didn't do a whole lot. Got a little bit.
We got a little bit. Yeah.
It didn't do near about what it could have, but we didn't put fertilizer.
No, and we didn't waste a lot of time over here, because once things weren't thriving, the corn did pretty good considering we didn't do that much with it. We got a nice mess, but we don't know what we're going to do with this back here.
Are not ready. It'll be a while on them, so we'll know later what we get on them.
Yeah. So
that's about it.
Yeah, that's about it. Everything. Lily's dry. Her calf is due in October, so we're down to just the cow here right now. So the grass is doing great with the rain. It's holding out. I'm busy preserving, and you're working and back and forth and different things. So
just living the dream.
Living the dream.
We've discussed some things. We've discussed, and we ain't gonna say a whole lot about it now.
No,
we don't know.
We don't know what the future holds, but there might be some changes on the horizon.
We have discussed some huge changes on the horizon.
Some huge changes. Yep.
But we'll know more about that later. And,
well, we got to pray about it and do a little more talking about it. So
how's your truck?
What truck? I think the last cabin chat we had, we talked about my truck was in the shop, right?
About 2 of them before then, I think.
It's still there.
Yeah.
Still there. They are. They have no clue what's wrong with it.
Right. And I don't know what day this video will come out. It'll be out in a few days, but today is what, the 10th?
10th of July, and we took
Saturday, whatever Saturday is.
We took it April the 19th.
April the 19th.
And it hadn't been back home.
Yeah.
So we don't know. They don't know. They've reached out to some higher higher people at Ford to see if they can.
It'd be nice to have that, because I could use it, working from
because the camper's not going anywhere right now.
No.
Because we don't have anything big enough to pull it. So we do have the half tons. Cody's got his, and you got your other one. So I can hook to the 2-horse trailer, and if I have to get Lily to the vet or something. Right. So we're not without, but it's just it's a little inconvenient.
And they did furnish us with a truck.
They did give us a loaner, but it's not near as big. But
it's a new truck, so it's dependable.
Yeah,
it's dependable. If you need to go somewhere,
if I need to make a trip, and
it's a Ford Ranger.
Yeah, it's a Ranger. So it's a little truck, but it's dependable. So if I have to make a trip and you're out of town, I feel like. Jerry's truck is a good truck, but I don't know that I'd venture off very far.
No, it's had a few birthdays. It's like me. It's not new.
It's not new. So, I'll go to town and the feed store and stuff like that.
I'll take it out of state or somewhere. I don't mind at all, but no, I wouldn't.
Yeah, not me by myself. So, yeah, I don't want to get broke down on the side of the road.
No,
so.
I've been there, and I kind of know what to do. If it's nothing but walk. So I'm not as worried about that with me as I would be with you.
And I will say that about Ford and the dealership, our local dealership. I'll say that they offered us that truck, and they've been very gracious with it.
They have been good. They've
been
good.
So
through the whole thing.
Yeah, through the whole thing. So we'll see how it all pans out. I don't know. So we're just trying to wait and see. But that's kind of it. There's a few things, the squash and zucchini's winding down because I can't keep up with the fungal diseases right now.
We got plenty off of there.
Yeah, we got plenty
I
off of
love
there. So.
zucchini, but
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Yeah,
But,
and we're cooking squash and cooking zucchini, but it's slowing down, and the bees are doing wonderful.
Yeah.
They are doing great. We're going to try to harvest a little more honey in
That's
fall.
another thing. We done a video on that, on harvesting that, and we went out there. You know, we don't have an extractor, but we go out there and just get a few frames and get what honey we need. We pulled
2.5. Well, it was 3 frames,
we
but
pulled 3 frames and we took the honey off of both sides of 2 of them and one side of the other.
yeah, that one didn't have
didn't have
honey
it
on
on
one
it.
side. Yeah.
But out of them 3 frames, or 2.5, if you want to call it that, you got 6, 7.
We were just shy of a gallon.
Just a few ounces shy of a
I
gallon.
think maybe 8 ounces shy of a gallon.
Oh.
So, I mean, I could not
That was
complain.
plenty, and there was plenty more honey down in there. I've seen that, and when we go to getting low, we'll go back out there and pull
Yeah,
a few
we'll,
more frames. To me, that's better than taking it all from.
Well, and also what we'll do, of course, we won't do it in the wintertime because we'll leave, we may take a little bit in the fall, but then we'll leave it so they'll have, for their winter store. But and we didn't hit the new one, and the new one we may be able to get a frame or 2 out of it. I don't know.
Yeah, probably
We'll
won't
see.
mess with it till next spring.
Yeah, probably so.
Leave it to the
We
winter.
did add a super to that one, a big super. That's a tall super, and so they are so healthy, and they're docile. Now they'll light you up. I don't mean that, but I mean.
I don't care how docile they are. I'm putting them breeches on if I go out there.
Yeah, we're not going out there to do nothing. But now in the mornings,
I mean,
usually.
I'll go out there around it and hang around it. But when I go to mess with that hive,
Oh yeah, no. But I can go. I've even went out there and hand cut the grass around the bottom of it. But I wait until the evening where they're kind of slow. But I try to go out there every day or every other day and just stand a few feet away from the hive and just be there so they know who I am. They have my scent and they know, they're familiar with me. So, but no, I wouldn't touch. I wouldn't pop the lid on that thing without the suit and the smoker. So they're good though. As a matter of fact, we can walk the grandkids out there at a distance and they can see the activity going on.
Yeah,
and
they may
stuff.
come and even get on you, bump into you or something.
Oh, they bump into you all the
As
time.
long as you don't mess with them, they're pretty much
Don't
fine.
smash one. Don't smash one, because that sends
That
off.
makes them mad. doesn't
Well,
it?
it sends out the danger pheromone and they all come. So you don't want to smash one. But if you just go out there, and I've had them come out there and just check me out and then go off on their merry way. They're not worried about it. So.
Well, that's about it, ain't it?
I think so.
That's about it.
That's just an update about what's going on around here.
I can't. Because we hadn't had a video in a little while. Because
You've
of
been
me being
you've been gone, and I
then-
just have not been able to stop long enough to do a quality one. I wanted to do a quality one, and
whatever.
and I've got one.
Film the thing and put it out there. She ain't like that.
I've got one that I'm working on right now, but it'll be. Well, no, it may come out before this. I don't know when. I don't know which one's going to go out
Probably
first.
this
Yeah.
one. But I can't wait to hear about the exciting news. The big changes coming.
I know, y'all got to stay tuned. We might have some big news. It may be a month or two before we really say anything, but we got to do a little research before we make up our mind about anything. So, we hadn't really talked about and talked to family a little bit. And
Well, I had a ball.
I did too.
All right.
I did. Yeah. So that was the update. We're mighty blessed. I'm so blessed. I just can't. I can't measure the blessings. Physically, spiritually, mentally. Yeah. Hey, that intermittent fasting has really, my mental clarity. And boy, did I need it.
Well, I probably need it, but it ain't happening.
It ain't happening. No.
If I see something to eat, I'm gonna probably eat.
Yeah, I still got to tweak it, a little bit and learn about it, but I'm happy with it.
I'm the type of fella, I'd take a chicken leg to bed with me, in case I get hungry during the
No,
night.
don't let him lie to you. It would be a little Debbie moon pie or something.
Yeah,
It wouldn't
I'll
be.
take one of them,
Yeah, it
too.
wouldn't be a chicken leg.
Yeah.
Of course, our kids have done stuff with chicken legs, toted them in places before when they was little. So.
Well, what else?
That's about it. That's the update, and just talking about the blessings. I'm gonna remind you of this one. Don't ever forget that your Heavenly Father loves you, and we'll see you on the next video. God bless.
Bye.